world. Today we're going to make some immune boosting recipes to keep that body pumping in times like these when we're all at home and we're trying to stay well to prevent any sicknesses from entering our families, our friends, our own bodies. Having a healthy immune system is so important when you're trying to stay well. It's basically what keeps the body fighting, keeps the body pumping. So today I'm so excited to share with you some awesome immune boosting recipes that I've been researching and making myself to keep myself and my family healthy while this virus and other sicknesses are going around. So let's get to it. Also, just before we get started, please share in the comments below if you have any other immune boosting recipes that you've been making yourself, because I'm sure we'd all love to hear them. Get some recipe swaps going. It's always good fun. It's great to get cooking in the kitchen. It's a great pastime and a great way to stay well and sane in times like these when there's not much else to do. Also, I'm curious to hear, what are you guys doing to pass the time when you're at home as well? It's great to get some ideas on things to get up to. So today's first recipe of the day, drum roll, is a golden milk smoothie. Creamy golden milk smoothie actually. Now this one is actually from Minimalist Baker. I've just adjusted and sort of tweaked the recipe a little bit to suit my preferences, but you guys are more than welcome to do the same for you, or keep it as the original if you'd like. I will link these recipes in the description below for you guys to check out as well. So this recipe actually calls for turmeric, which is why it's called golden, because it has turmeric in it, which is a super health boost for the body. It's an anti-inflammatory. Inflammation is a big stress on the body and can cause diseases later on down the track if they're unaddressed, because it puts stress and causes other problems later on. So it's important to keep that body anti-inflamed. Oh, and also it has carrot in this recipe as well, which is rich in vitamin A, hence the orange color. Anything that's orange basically is rich in vitamin A, except oranges. Oranges are also rich in vitamin C. Basically, the orange color shows that it's rich in beta carotene, which is in vitamin A. That's why sweet potato is also rich in beta carotene. Vitamin A is really great for supporting a great healthy immune system, and I've also recently learned it's really good at helping to prevent mouth ulcers, because my family was coming down with a heap of mouth ulcers for no reason at all. And we went to our naturopath and she said having a deficiency in vitamin A can bring on mouth ulcers. So fun fact for everyone. I didn't know that until now. Now you guys do too. Okay. So let's get started making this creamy golden milk smoothie, because that's why we're all here today. So to begin with, you're going to need a cup of frozen ripe banana. Now I always keep a stash of ripe frozen bananas in my fridge, just here in my freezer, so that I always have them on hand so I don't have to wait another day to make something that I would like to make now, because I didn't have frozen banana. So a good tip, always just to have a few bananas kept in your freezer if you want to whip up some smoothies or some ice cream bowls, which is just healthy ice cream used with frozen fruit or other things like that. Then you're also going to need 1 cup of either coconut milk or almond milk. I'm going to use coconut milk today because I want to change it up. I usually use almond milk. Then the star of the show, turmeric. You're going to need half a teaspoon of ground turmeric. Make sure it's organic as well to ensure that there's no pesticides or chemicals in that ingredient. Next, you're going to need 1 tablespoon of some fresh ginger. Ginger, I know, is actually really great for nausea and other stomach upsets. So if you guys are traveling and you know that you get a lot of motion sickness or you just feel unwell in the stomach, ginger is a great stomach settler. Then you're going to need a dash of ground cinnamon, then a dash of black pepper. Fun fact as well, black pepper and ginger also really help to absorb turmeric in the body. So if you pair those 3 together, the body's able to absorb turmeric a lot better than if you just had turmeric on its own. It's a little fun fact for everyone. Then you're going to need a dash of ground nutmeg. Then you're going to need a dash of clove. It also says you can add cardamom, which I do have. Might actually get that. But there we go. So a dash of cardamom and clove. Those are optional ingredients. They just add a bit of warmth and spice to the smoothie. Then you can either use 1/4 cup of fresh carrot juice, or you can use 1 small carrot. I have 1 large carrot, so I'm in a bit of a pickle with that. So I'm just going to cut that in half and use just half the carrot in my smoothie. Again, this is an optional ingredient, but like I said before, carrot's rich in vitamin A, which is great for your immune system. And yeah, that's it. That's all the ingredients. So all you're going to do is pop them into a blender just like this one, and you're going to blend it up until nice and creamy, and then it is ready to eat. First I was afraid, I was petrified. Might just bend down so that I'm in the camera view, otherwise you'll just be seeing my boobs. 1 cup of banana translates to me as Let's do 2 banana. And it's just so satisfying when you crack open a fresh little glass of milk and you hear that and you're like, oh, fresh. Oh, knew that was gonna happen. I was like, oh, it's gonna spill, because I think every time I make something, something spills. Half a teaspoon and a little bit more for good measure to help with that immunity. That is my rough guesstimation of a tablespoon of fresh ginger. Some ground cinnamon. We'll just do a little dash. Whoop! That was so much more than a dash. A dash of black pepper. This will actually be a dash. A dash of nutmeg. Proper dash. Dash of cardamom. Half a carrot, which I'll chop up for my food processor. Isn't on Struggle Street trying to whip it up. All ready to go. Let's whip it up. So I just topped it with some hemp seeds to just put like the cherry on top of a cake. Is so nice. Honestly, this is such a refreshing smoothie to have maybe in the morning or as a snack during the day. And it just gives you that immune boost that you need, and it just tastes flippin' fantastic. You guys are gonna love that recipe. If you guys make it, please share it with me on any social media sites that you have. I'll link mine down below. I love to see your recreations. It makes me so excited. I hope you guys enjoy this recipe. Let's move on to number 2. Next we have wellness shots. So shots. So these, instead of being, you know, irregular alcoholic shots, these are actually nutrient boost shots. Yay! No alcohol, what? Say what? This recipe I actually found from Earthy Andy. She shared it on her Instagram, so I will link the post down below for you guys to check out. They're called Jamu shots. I think that's how it's spelled, J-M-U. I'm presuming it's Jamu. Maybe it has an accent to it, Jamor. I'll write it down so you guys can see how it's spelled. They're called Jamu shots. Maybe. And they're full of healthy nutrient boosting ingredients to keep that immune system on top of things. Now they can be made with honey, but if you guys are vegan or really strict vegans and you don't want to use honey, maple syrup is a great alternative. So I'll be using maple syrup today, but you're more than welcome to use honey in your recipe. Now it does taste really citrusy, so it may be like when you drink it, it is like a shot. You're like, oh, it's quite strong, so you can adjust the ingredient levels in this recipe. So the ingredients you'll need, I've adjusted the quantities from the recipe that she gave, but you can also do the quantities that she recommends, which I will share in the description down below. So I'm going to use about 2 teaspoons of turmeric, so a big turmeric hit. It's going to be quite concentrated. Then I'm going to use the juice of 1 lemon, which I've chopped in half. There's the other half. A tablespoon worth of ginger again, so some fresh ginger. Then 1 cup of filtered water, thank you, like so. And then you're going to need 1/8 of a teaspoon of black pepper and some maple syrup to taste, so you can add how much you like. I might add a teaspoon of maple syrup today. That is it, so only a few ingredients. So you're going to pop that into your blender. 1 minute. Just here. You're going to pop that in, blend it up, and then you're going to pour it into little glasses and just drink it up. My guesstimated amount of lemon juice, then a tablespoon of ginger, around about, 2 teaspoons of turmeric, then 1 cup of filtered water. Now 1/8 of a teaspoon of some black pepper. Again, combining turmeric, ginger and black pepper together actually helps absorb. Hold on. Again, combining turmeric. Oh, Emma. Again, for and then 1 teaspoon of maple syrup. And now it's ready to blend. actually really nice. It's really citrusy aftertaste, but it's really good. If you want, you can add more lemon to it to make it a little bit more citrusy, juicy, or you can add more water to dilute it a little bit more, or less turmeric if you find it's too turmeric-y, or ginger. You just adjust the quantities to how much you want of it. So you just down it like a shot, and done. You've got a nutrient boosting juice right here. So I've just saved the rest in my fridge to keep for later, so I don't have to keep making batches of the juice up, which is really handy. So if you make one batch up, you can just keep the others for later and just have them throughout the day or over a few days, whatever you like. Now on to our last and final recipe for today, which is a sweet potato chickpea salad that I found from Minimalist Baker. Again, she has so many cool recipes. I'll link it in the description below for you guys. I will get started on showing you. I basically just bought a packet of chickpeas that weren't in a can, because one, you can soak them yourself so that they deactivates any phytonutrients in those chickpeas, which is such a bonus because it makes it easier for your digestive system to digest the chickpeas. So that's really important. Soaking or sprouting legumes, nuts, seeds and grains can really help in ensuring you get more nutrients from those foods and help with preventing any sort of damage on the way through from your digestive system being under attack by those phytonutrients that are naturally found in those grains. It's like a passive natural defense system in those grains, so they have that there so that when something eats them and then kind of comes out the other end, say a bird, it lands in fertile soil and can then grow from there without having been digested and not being able to grow from that. So that's why it has those phytonutrients in those grains and things. So I just soaked them overnight for 8 hours or more, probably it was like 12 hours or so. And now I'm just cooking them up in my saucepan over here. And that takes around 1.5 to 2 hours, or until they become nice and tender. So if you guys want to soak them too, all you need to do is put the chickpeas into a large bowl and fill it with water so it's a few inches above the actual chickpea marker line, because they'll expand and swell overnight. So you want to make sure they're covered by the water. I put in some salt as well because that also helps deactivate phytonutrients in those grains and seeds and things. Maybe a teaspoon or two worth of salt in there, and let it sit on the tabletop overnight for those 8 to 12 hours. And then I just emptied out the water in the morning because you don't want to cook with that water because it has all those anti-nutrients in that. You don't want that. So just tip it out, and then you just fill up the chickpeas in a saucepan with water again, several inches above the chickpea marker line, because again they still swell when they cook. And then you let them cook for 1.5 to 2 hours until they become tender. And then from there, you're going to bake them in the oven with some sweet potato. So I just got about maybe 15 minutes more until the chickpeas are actually done. And then from there, I'll show you how to make the rest of the salad. So we're back. I've just finished draining out the chickpeas, as you can see. So they finished cooking a while back and I drained out the water, so they're all ready to go. So now I'm going to roast them on a baking tray with some baking paper and the sweet potato, which I'm going to start preparing now. So the chickpeas are ready, they're ready to go. I'm going to coat them in a kind of flavoursome coating before I roast them in the oven. I'm just going to chop out the sweet potato and get that ready to go as well. You guys can see that as I go along, and then I'll put it in the oven to bake. So I just fast forwarded through and basically prepared everything. So I have the chickpeas there. I've cut up the broccoli into florets, so they're just like tiny little pieces ready to be roasted in the oven just there. And I've cut up the capsicum, or bell peppers as you guys may call them. So I only use one medium bell pepper to cut that up, and you can either keep it raw or you can roast it. So I'm going to roast it with the broccoli, and I just used one broccoli head, and then I used a packet worth of chickpeas. I can't actually remember, it was like one of those dried chickpea packets, but you really only need 1 can worth of chickpeas if you want to make this salad. But I'm going to use probably 2 cans or 3 cans worth of chickpeas in this. It also just be really protein rich with the chickpeas. And then I've cut up 2 medium sized sweet potatoes and then put some coconut oil sitting around it and put some salt on both. I put some olive oil on this one. So that's all ready to go. I'm going to now make the coating for the chickpeas that I talked about before. So I'm going to get that out and I'll show you guys how I make that now. And I'm also just going to preheat the oven now to 190 degrees Celsius, which is just 375 degrees Fahrenheit as well. So to make the coating for the chickpeas, you're going to need about 1 tablespoon worth of paprika. Then you're going to need 1 tablespoon of extra virgin cold pressed olive oil, 1 teaspoon of coconut sugar. Then you're going to need a healthy pinch of sea salt, so I'll just do like a pinch and a half just for good measure, and just a pinch of cayenne pepper or chili flakes. So I'm going to use chili flakes today just for a little extra zing. So I'm going to pop that into my chickpea mix and then stir it around. And then I'm going to pop the chickpeas in with the baked sweet potato and put them into the oven for 20 to 25 minutes. And I'll pop that in with the broccoli because that will also cook for 20 to 25 minutes as well. But at the halfway mark, switch the pans over so one that was on the top is now on the bottom. So to make the dressing, you're just going to need about the juice of 1 lemon, 3 garlic cloves minced. Now I don't have a mincer at home to mince these garlic cloves with, so I just finely chopped them up. Then you're going to need about 1/3 cup of tahini, and then 1 teaspoon of dried or fresh dill. And then you're just going to sprinkle a pinch of salt in. Mine's again going to be like a pinch and a half because I just love sea salt. So let's get making that. And then you're just going to mix that through. I'm going to get a fork to whisk it through until it's nice and creamy and well combined with the tahini. And it's good to go for when the vegetables come out. Done! So now that's ready to drip on. If you want to make it thinner, you can just add in more lemon juice or even some water to thin it, which is what I'm going to do now, just because that will be very thick to drizzle on. It's quite good as like a dipping sauce or some sort of sauce to put on, but in terms of drizzling it on, it's just a little bit thick, so I'm just going to add it. Whoa! Start with a little bit and work your way up from there. Mine was a little bit much better. This is the consistency I want, but you can always add more if you want it to be thinner. Yeah, so that's ready to go for when the vegetables are ready. So that is it. This is the beautiful sweet potato, broccoli and chickpea salad. I absolutely love it. It's so delicious. I tasted it before and it was like, oh, heaven. It was so nice. And today's shout out goes to Sasha Rezin. I'm so grateful for your beautiful comment you left on my zero waste products #2 video. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. It means so much to me that you really enjoyed the products that I shared. I hope you enjoyed them if you do get them yourself. Thank you for everyone for watching my videos, commenting, liking, sharing, and just leaving such beautiful love on my channel. I'm so grateful. It means so much to me. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching today, and I hope to see you in future videos of mine. Bye.